Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is TheSparrowsJourney. This is Gwent. Today I want to present you with a John Calveit deck. One that is particularly not necessarily competitive or to be played in ranked, but it's a lot of fun. The moment that I reached rank 15, I found little motivation right now, at least with the game state, to keep playing ranked mode. So I started, trying to find different stuff, original stuff to play with. And John Calveit, I suppose, was at this time one of the least played heroes in ranked mode and also in casual as well. So I tried to come up with a deck that would eventually work. Now, the reason why I say this deck is not competitive is, one, I don't think it's as strong as other decks. Secondly, it lacks consistency. And I guess Nilfgaard that uses spies to thin their deck will never be as consistent as any other deck in ranked mode, and that's why I suppose I don't suggest this for ranked mode, even though I won a couple matches while playing ranked mode. We're gonna play over here with, as golden cards, Zarthesius. Once again, I think this is one of the strongest golden cards on Nilfgaard side, and I think it's very hard not to play with it. Zarthesius chooses 3 cards. It actually comes up to your screen, the 3 cards on top of the opponent's deck, and then you're gonna choose which one you want to put at the bottom of the deck. So basically, you are telling the game which card you don't want the opponent to have. Vilgefortz is another strong card from Nilfgaard. It's very hard to pick golden cards for Nilfgaard because all of them look absolutely amazing. The effects they have and the abilities they have, and whatnot. So Vilgefortz not only prevents you from, eventually getting destroyed by stuff that the opponent puts on your board, things like the raw Tarsus and whatnot, but it actually helps thinning your deck as well. There's no Roach, if you haven't noticed, so you will not be able to eventually burn Roach. You don't want to use Vilgefortz on this deck as a thinning card, but rather keep it for the last moment of the round, if you absolutely can. And then eventually Vilgefortz can even work as a Scorch, because as you can see, you don't have D-Bomb, you don't have Shackles, you don't have Igni from Geralt, and you don't have Scorch. So Vilgefortz will be very important to eventually Scorch an opponent card. Stefan is an important card so that you can guarantee that, for instance, the Witchers will be on the top of your deck. Because if you haven't noticed, we have over here, down here, Joaquin de Wet. And what Joaquin de Wet does is, he plays the top loyal only non-gold unit on your deck, and then add 8 strength to it. And the reason why I have the Witchers and Joaquin de Wet is that they thin your deck really well all together. But for that, you need to have one of the Witchers at the top of your deck above, for instance, Nausicaa Brigade, or even an Engineer, who knows, or even a Medic. It might happen. There's a little chance that these cards will be on top of these ones. There's a chance, that these cards will be on top of this. But because these have a higher value than these, eventually it's one of the Witchers that will come up. So in your starting hand, perfect case scenario, you want to have no Witchers, and when you play Joaquin de Wet, you will bring 1 Witcher, which will get buffed by 8 strength, and the other 2 will show up. That's a lot of strength in just one play. You're gonna give 5 strength to your opponent, but eventually you can either burn it with this guy, Menno Coehurn, or eventually, change it with John Calveit. A lot of people say or ask, why do you have this guy on your deck if you are playing with John Calveit? Because John Calveit, what it does is, it changes all the spies on the opponent's board to your board. So, for instance, when you play Cantarella, she's gonna go on the opponent's board, but if you play John Calveit after that, she will switch sides. So she will count as a level 6 card on your side, and you will take 12 points away from the opponent's side, which is the strength at what she stays at when she is put there. So the reason why I play this guy is because I play a lot of spies. I play 3 spies over here, 3 spies over here, Joaquin de Wet, and Cantarella. And the reason why I have Operator, and let's get done with it, Operator, normally you want to play him on Cantarella. That's another core mechanic of this deck, and it works real well. So Menno Coehurn can be really, really good to burn spies that have been, left over there, and you don't have John Calveit available anymore. you are playing with a lot of spies, so you want to guarantee you have more than just one way to get rid of those spies. Could you go with something else? Arguably, yes. If you think it works better with another golden card, or if you miss more another golden card, go ahead. I like to have Mano Kuahorn as a safety net. Now, I mentioned Operator. Why is Operator over here? I already said I'm going to operate Cantarella in the best case scenario. And why do you do that? You are going to benefit from changing both Cantarellas that you will eventually play on the board to your side. So you are not only getting card advantage, you are thinning your deck, and you are actually taking points away from the opponent and giving them to you. Now, you have to be careful with one thing. You don't want to blow away all your points at once. You want to be careful with that. You want to be careful when you play Joaquin Duet on a Witcher. You want to be careful when you play Operator on Cantarella. You don't want to blow all your special moves in one round, or you lose consistency to the next rounds and you will eventually lose. A Nausicaa Brigade. Why is this guy here? Because there's a lot of Nilfgaard out there with Raw Tossers. This guy will deny one carcass from a Raw Tosser, so that's a good way to get rid of it. Medics are here for obvious reasons. They are really good. I guess one of the best bronze cards in the game right now. You use them to res something from the opponent's graveyard. That's really, really good against Skellige, for instance, which is playing a lot of discard decks right now. Then you have the Engineers. Engineers are here to add consistency to this deck, and you want to use Engineers at the last, very last moment of the round, because normally what happens is if you play Engineer on a unit that is, for instance, buffed up, the opponent will do anything to stop you from keeping the buff that Engineer give to that unit. Either play lock on it, either just completely destroy it, or stuff like that. So you want to keep combat engineers for the first and second round, of course. You don't want to have any of these engineers to your hands on the third round. They become pretty much useless. So you want to use them on first and second round, but only after you see the opponent has little chance of stopping what they do, which is keeping a card of your choosing for the next rounds. And normally what I do is I play Duet into a Witcher. That Witcher gets buffed, and you play Engineer on that buffed Witcher if you see the enemy opponent doesn't have any chance to delete that card that you're gonna, give resilience to. You want to be careful when to use these emissaries. Normally, you want to always have a unit on the board already, so that if this guy pulls an Ambassador, you have a new unit that is buffed, and that buff doesn't go to waste. You want to guarantee sometimes that the opponent has something on their graveyard in case you pull a medic out, and that medic will have a use. You have to be careful with these little things, and that's why this deck, and I guess Nilfgaard in general, becomes a little bit RNG heavy dependent. But these emissaries do great for deck thinning, and that's why I have two first lights as well. They help not only to clear the weather if you need that, because this deck, as you might have noticed, is very fragile to weather, so you gotta keep a first light in your hands whenever you think the opponent will eventually be able to use weather. I have a Lacerate over here, which is pretty useful nowadays against consuming decks, against, for instance, Scoia'tael built-up decks and stuff of the sort. You can replace this for something else other than Lacerate, something like, for instance, Manticore Venom, which is pretty useful right now against Scoia'tael and the defenders. Then I have here Alzur's Thunder, which is very useful in this current patch. There's a lot of things you want to put away right off. Finally, you have the Ambassadors. Ambassadors is probably the best part of this deck as far as bronze cards go, because they buff a unit by 12 strength. Now, the fact that they buff a unit of their choosing, completely random, adds once again a lot of RNG to this deck, which is unfortunate because all around I think it works. I think it's a very fun deck to play with. I would still not recommend it for ranked mode, but I did win a couple games with it. If you are careful enough, you will be able to be successful with this one. A change here and there, maybe to add consistency, maybe to fight the meta better, would probably help. If you have any suggestions, feel free to put them in the comment section. I will read them and eventually discuss them with you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my John Likes Witchers, kind of random name out there, deck. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you play it and try it yourself, let me know how that go. And have a nice Gwent time. My name has been TheSparrowsJourney. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like it if you have enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe if you are new around these parts. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Okay, let's see. I just asked for a little bit of luck, man, in the draws. I have not been having luck at all. This is not a bad hand. Two medics against Skellige. That's fine. Last rate, not so much. I'll take that away.
For blood!
You blind, greedy fool.
For the clan! For Skellige!
What do you need me to do?
What do I want next? Well, this guy. This guy would be great, yes. To kill that thing over there.
No one can hide from me.
He might still act once more.
Let us see.
Please don't jump over here now.
Hey, me!
Don't jump over here. Thank you.
An interesting choice.
Actually, not sure this is worth it.
By Hendel's axe!
We serve her who is virgin, mother, and crone.
No one can hide from me.
I'll take that. That's not a great
Sort
pick.
of a wenches. Get yourself an axe.
Please wait, Your Excellency. I'm falling behind.
So be it.
He's already quitting. I was gonna use John Calveit now, but guess I'll pass. I mean, a Scorch over there. It had to be Igni. Igni would give him 4 points, 48, 48. I would lose 11. I would be 46. So that would give him the win with 1 card. What did he lose over here? Oh, wow. What did he prefer instead of Sigfrida? Must have been Resto.
I forgive you. This time.
I was not going to use that in any other situation anyway, so... Still going to have to play at least 1 more card, I think.
Here's the betterment than in your wildest, wettest dreams!
Yeah.
That might even be amusing.
In my eyes, that was not worth it, but we will see. I still have my Witchers, and I'm gonna keep a card on the board now, even though it's only a level 7. I'm gonna risk it and or will I? If I want to risk it? No. Let's Let's not risk it.
You best yield now.
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
Gonna res the other
before
one.
modern Freya.
For blood!
A shame I have no time.
Great, that's gonna sink in all the Yennefer bleeding. That's awesome.
What do you need?
I have no way to kill that. This.
For the clan! For Skellige!
I have no way to kill that.
Egreto dum anime est, spes est.
Yalmar on crates coming for
Oh,
you!
damn.
Not much left of that world.
Onward!
He's not gonna be able to kill that, so... Oh my god. Oh! That hurts like a mother...
Enough! Let us finish this.
Oh! Oh, stop. Please, stop everything. Okay. I was gonna use Engineer, but screw that. You already used Resto. You already used Siegfrieda. He's out of Restos, so... I mean, he must have a Priestess of Freya on his deck. But I'm much better off keeping it this way. That's not amazing.
I warned you.
Oh my god.
The Empire will be victorious.
That was a fine win. I think it was not worth for him to use 2 cards to win over me. I think it was not worth it.